All right, game number 2, Titus Gaming Legendary Snails on Zombie. After losing to the Snails last time, it looks like Titus Gaming is going to go for an early arms lab, leaving Golden behind, and a 4 push.
Of course, they do this all the time on Jambi. The 4 split, just get as many extractors up on the right-hand side of the map as early as possible, and then worry about the other side of the map. So you've actually only got Golden and Versus to defend the base.
This is exactly what I talked about, though. You cannot go over-aggressive out there. Golden going down quickly, forcing Rantology back to base, forcing yet another Marine back as well. That's Joshi coming in. They do save this, but you really put yourself in a bad position. Because, look, they still didn't cap any more than they would have.
Yeah, that was messy as fuck. Like, they've got their IP down to 40%. No armory, no welders. 2 Marines. The only one still left aggressive because 3 went defensive. Now pushing into a whip, a gorge, all the skulks. Oh, it's going to be a massacre.
Right, as soon as that happens, the commander drops a whip and a crag for the gorge and oxygenation, knowing that they're going to counter with a push into Oxy. And great move by the aliens there.
Yeah, Titus clearly attempting the extractors like they were planning for, but their plan is gone. Like, we've seen it from them before. They want to get as many harvest extractors up with those Marines in the top right of the map, take it, and then worry about the left, but it's failed. And that's really going to hurt them, because they're not going to know how to recover quite from this. And you can see Snails are slowly grasping at the map. You've got Infestation up to Augmentation with Heracles sat there as a gorge, poking around the corners, checking if it's clear, which drop. They're going to have a harvester there soon. Waste Recycling with a tunnel, I suspect, connection from Augmentation. It's all looking good for Snails. You can see the plan is coming together, and you can see Titus's plan is falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to be able to do against, you know, these whip crag combinations in a lot of these areas. And the Skulks are doing a great job of delaying the Marines in places like Gravity and down south in supply lines.
Yeah, nice little attempt at a 1v1, Gorgeous versus Eagle Eye. Gorgeous takes it. It's very important to win these 1v1s. Actually, we've got all the Skulks dead right now. I don't know when or why that happened, but it looks like all the Marines have succeeded in their little combats. Golden's going up against a lot of Skulks right now. It looks like he might take Ray. Very well done to kill a Skulk when he's got that Gorge, and the Skulk's playing evasively. Very well done to him. The rest of the Marines, almost all of them parasited. 1 respawning from the IP. Armor 1, it's nice to see that the Marines have prioritized the upgrades. It's really good to see. They've still got their second IP as well, so it's not looking too bad for Titus. In fact, it's looking alright. Looking pretty good, in fact. It's getting better all the time.
Yeah, so 4 extractors, 2 being built. That'll take them up to 6. That's basic math, folks. And, you know, that Skulk clear in Gravity, when they killed those 3 Skulks, that seemed to be a good point for them to start spreading out and getting these other nodes kept. Look at that Sicknick! Oh my god, nice. Being stalked from behind. It takes down one of the Skulks. Kinyo going a little bit low there. He's going to get picked as well. But look how quick. 3 minute lurks up and running. And weapons 1 only halfway done.
We got a 3 Marine push, which is quite a lot of Marines this early on in 1 in room. Straight into the whip, crag combination, organ donation, and the lurks will be converging very soon. King Yo in his lurk egg. They've still got 3 or 4 seconds before he's anywhere near this room. Ray's coming in, Eagle Eye as well. And that's 1 Marine already down. Rantology's not there to back up. They do clear the Skulk, but now she's alone up against King Yo and Ray. And that's her death, unfortunately.
Yeah, man, and what are you really getting out of that situation there? Gorge Tunnel placed in Bay Wing because they couldn't kill good old Heracles the Gorge. Now they're going to take down that res node, build up that whip to let it do a lot of the work for them too. And that means 5 harvesters for the aliens.
Yep. Titus have pretty much had the advantage in terms of res for this game, but it's going to turn at this point. This is the pivot point. They're going to go down to 5 extractors. Snails are going to come up to 5 as well, so that's a slight advantage to the aliens soon. But then we're seeing some aggression. The double lurk's converging, but the scan is there. They know it's there, and they just got to get the rifle shots onto these lurks. There's nothing there. King Yo's left with 50%. Ray is low. Retreating a little bit late, but he's fine. Not a problem. And they're going to try and deal with the harvester, whilst the rest of the Marines probably just try and deal with the right side of the map. But this mass expanse with the Gorge doing so much building, it's making it very difficult for the Marines to hold any map control in the northern section.
Oh, they could lose Heracles here. They're desperately trying. Gorge is coming around the corner. Can he take down Heracles? No, the mucus! The mucus! The mucus! And look at the Titus now down to 3 extractors, and Snails just dominating at a slow and steady pace.
This is where we're seeing the shotguns, though. Aliens just took the map control advantage, but the Marines are going to invest in shotguns and welders. There's 3 shotguns on the field right now to try and deal with these lurks. If any of these lurks go down, that's what Titus is going to use to try and take back some of these harvesters. So you got 2 Marines, 3 Marines down the bottom right, trying to get Baywing back. There's a couple of whips and a crag combination with a gorge as well. He's clogging up the wall, making it very difficult for these Marines to push in, but they're not at all scared. You can see that cost Gorgeous a lot of HP. Look at them going in. They're all low, just to the whip and the ranged attacks.
They are, but getting on the other side of the whips is probably the best move they could be doing right now, except for the fact that everybody's pulled back and they're looking at Marine start. Joshy, the only one here. He's now out. The obs, he needs to beacon. They cannot afford to lose that arms lab. Oh, no! No, they take the obs down. Obs is down. It was down like so fast, and look at that, IP was never healed. And now the IP going down, they're moving to gravity for a relocate, but at what cost? Oh my goodness. And now a gorge tunnel down south, that's gonna give them so much more power. Wow.
So they've still got 4 extractors up, but they've lost their entire base. They've got no arms left, no upgrades right now.
No way. Not gonna happen. Sorry, Titus, but you just got outclassed.
Yeah, that. I mean, it was brave to push past those whips. In fact, I think I used that word. But sometimes bravery is not that distinguishable from recklessness. And they had 3 Marines in the wrong position, and they beaconed very, very, very late. And now you're seeing them trying to recover, but they're slowly gonna lose all their extractors. They'll be on 1 extractor very soon, I think.
Look at this. I mean...
Go for the hive.
I mean, what do you do? I mean, sure, gravity is a strong location, per se, but you can also get locked in here really easily. And there we go. Electrical core hive. I think that's the smartest move they could have done. They took down the lurk right there outside of gravity. That's a win for them. Now they're taking down waste recycling. They still have their extractor down in docking bay, although the power is taking damage.
So it looks like Snails are actually conceding a couple of their harvesters for the sake of the second hive. Now they don't really have enough money to bankroll all the upgrades they'll need from that. I suspect they'll be using the phase to try and recover some of the map control. That's 3 harvesters they're going to lose actually in a second. Baywing, waste recycling, oxygenation, that's something they need to worry about. Although I suppose they actually just taken the bottom left of the map instead, and probably docking bay as well, because they can take that. That's more their room than the Marines right now. Only 2 Marines going aggressive. You got Joshy and Signic up in oxygenation, just outside of the hive, and there's a couple of upgrades there, but I think they would need to do more than just kill a couple of upgrades at this point. A couple of fades pushing the spawn. There's only 1 IP, and they are just going to clean up.
I think that's exactly the right move. Use these fades as effectively as you can. Careful not to get pinched there a little bit, but you know, you're at a position where once that second hive comes up, you get that Umbra out, and I don't think that Titus is in a position to beat them.
Yeah, and you can see Titus down to 2 extractors. Almost lost docking bay. It's got infestation. It's got a fade. They've got gravity, of course, and it's probably going to be only 1 extractor very soon. Snails are going to have that second hive soon. Probably with a lot of money saved up, I suspect, once that's finished. And I think you were right. I don't think Titus can recover from this. That's too much of a loss.
Yeah, Biomass already researching back at the main hive. The second hive is going to be done here in about 3 seconds. And they're just holding the Marines back while all that res just ticks in. Electrical core is finished, taking them to Biomass 3 immediately. And how quickly will the Umbra be started? It looks like they've gone for Metabolize first. They can get one of these fades down, that'll be big.
They've done pretty well against those fades. They do have the armor 1, weapons 1 recovered. They've got the arms back online. They're struggling to get the weapons 2, which I think they would need to maybe kill some of these fades. You can see they're getting a little bit low, like 30%, but it's not enough to kill them. And it's looking like they're trying to actually mount another assault onto the spawn point. Titus are actually getting a couple of extractors up because the aliens are focusing on the IP location at this point. You can see they're actually slowly building up here. The gorge is there, they've got a whip at a crag, lurk, double fade, all in position. But they're not really pushing.
Yeah, they've got to be careful here not to lose any more of these crags and whips either. because those are really kind of the only things holding the Marines back in some of these areas. Cyst Rupture going off. Heracles back out his Gorge. So now you've got 2 Fades, a Lurk, and a Gorge, and you got Bile Bomb being researched. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks...
I think we know
like
what's coming. It's just a matter of the timing.
Snails are letting Titus recover. Like, they're giving them time, and if they give them this time, maybe 2 more minutes, 4 more minutes, we might be seeing Weapons 2, a bit of a recovery. Potentially, if a Fade goes down, that would be really nice. Like, Titus aren't out. Like, 6 Extractors. You don't call a team out once they're at this point. Somehow they've focused on Extractors, and Snails really haven't dealt with that at all. Phase Gate's up. Maybe they can get Phase Gate and hold, like, the Gravity Spawn with another Phase Gate. You could have a really good aggressive position with that, and still be able to hold a lot of Extractors. Like, that's awesome. And Weapons too. This is looking alright for Titus. Somehow recovering with Snails not really focusing on anything for the last couple of minutes. Just being a little bit hesitant and maybe getting upgrades and not really achieving anything.
You know, they've got 5 Extractors. Electrical Core is a pretty easy arcable location. You know, maybe that's the play for them. But, you know, you start doing that, you got to defend it, which is going to easily let them consume the right side of the map again. As you can see, they're already spreading infestation out there. Heracles has got to go down. They've got to lose that Gorge. It's just way too much. And there it is, the Robo at Gravity. They're going to arc out this location right here, as there are now 3 whips located right there.
I suspect the arc play will let them down. It's very, very expensive, and Titus are behind on resources. They need to focus on upgrades. They need to get the Armor 2 and the Weapons 3. I think arcs will slow them down too much. I appreciate that there's a lot of whips and a lot of nonsense in that corner, but maybe there's a cheaper option. Like,
Weapons 2 is almost up. They've been holding their own over here at supply lines for a little while. You know, maybe the Weapons 2 gives them that much more damage to do what they need to do, but they're losing these shotguns too far away, and the P-Res is not looking pretty. They still have enough to buy a couple more for most of the team, but I don't know. Arc Factory now done. He's going to start rolling those arcs out. He's on 5 Extractors.
I mean, they haven't even got the second IP up yet. That probably would have been a way better expense than an Arc Factory. And here they come. I mean, maybe just 1 Arc is all they need. Maybe they can sell the Arc Factory, let the Arc clear this stuff slowly. I don't know. I think if they focus on the Arcs, it's going to cost too much money, and slowly the aliens will have their upgrades and will push. I don't think the Marines will be able to hold them off with the upgrades they've got, and I don't think Arcs will be able to defend against Fades.
No, but you know, Heracles could make the mistake of overexposing himself in this position. Look, they're immediately shifting everything out of this room. So, I mean, they're gaining the room back, and Gorge is trying to come around the back side and clean up. As Heracles is about to go down, just needs 1 more shot. And Dams comes in to clean it up. Well done.
Yeah, I think that's a good demonstration of what I mean. Like, they had a really good strategy. They screwed up the aliens for a little bit. They had to recover. Gorge almost went down. But then when it came to the combat and the engagement, the Marines weren't quite able to keep up. They're almost getting these fades low. The Lurk leaves with 10%, but it's... there's other options that may have been better in the Arc. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen them go another option, perhaps, but... you can see the bar bomb's doing its work as well. The Arc Factory's almost dealt with. The Arc itself is down.
So Heracles goes down. They save the Arc Factory. They didn't take down a single Fade or Lurk. And they kind of cleared stuff in that room. And Eagle Eye goes down! A great back shot!
Arc Factory.
Joshy, wow. And there we go. Yeah, the Arc literally like deployed as that happened, didn't it?
I don't know. It's just tragic because I was just in some ways completely wrong. The Arc Factory got them a Fade kill.
Alright, so here's...
looks like the Arc's ready, actually, yeah.
Here's what we got coming up, though. They're on 4 Harvesters, and you've got 2 players at roughly 40 to 45 res. You know, you're definitely talking Onos here, but you're talking double Onos. Still, no Umbra researched. I'm a little wondering why. He's got 50 res. There we go. Umbra started. So that's really going to change things, I think, and that's going to be the overwhelming factor against Titus in this situation. I'm not saying I don't want to see him come back. We all love a good comeback. I'm just saying that, you know, just looking at how the map is being played out and how they're holding it, that 1 Arc is not, you know, John of Arc. So...
they'll attempt it. Like, they could push it quite far, but it's just going to be tough to keep it alive.
The aliens are doing the right thing. They're getting on the res.
Yeah, this is looking better. I mean, the Marines are doing the same thing. Like, oxygenation's down. They've probably built that themselves, so they'll push to the hive. But, yeah, you're right. Ray's there on the res repairs, forcing 2 Marines to be defensive. That means probably the rest of the map is not quite secure. Attempt at oxygenation, not really building it very quickly. The Ark is just sort of roaming about slowly.
Ooh, Dams is getting pinched. They're desperately trying to get Dams here. He's going to be able to retreat as Eagle Eye comes in. Great skulk kills there by Eagle Eye.
We've got 4 Marines dead right now. One of those Marines has a 30-second respawn time, so have fun watching the game, whoever that would be.
Yeah, still only the 1 IP. They really need that second IP. And down goes this Ark, as does the rest of their res.
I think a few Marines will die, and then they'll call GG. I think they are beyond their last legs. I suspect they'll give it one last shot. They'll realize we've lost all our res, and they've got the rest of the map, or the Onos could be the changer. But there's not much of a recovery for Titus anymore. They stayed in this game for a very long time, a lot longer than either of us thought. I'm not sure why Snails let them do so much, but they did. But not enough. Oh, weapons 3, and I'm just wrong again. That could be it. It could be it. It could be what they need.
You know, if the Onos does come out, that weapons 3, even rifle, with all of them there, and you just took down your lurk, you know, but they've all got enough to go lurk again. So, you know, the Umbra's still in play here.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Umbra. It's awesome. When you look at the numbers, when you look at how it works on the game itself, it's really, really good.
I think it's a little OP myself. Just like I think Mucus is maybe a little bit OP there too.
I suspect that's true. I mean, I think if it's 33% less damage, it's an effective health increase of 50%. That's a lot. that's a lot.
All right.
For a very low risk ability.
More biomass amassing for the aliens, and we all know why that is, because they're gonna want those Onos upgrades. And there's the Umbra coming out. Eagle Eye back out as that lurk. Bone Wall to stop the pursuit. I mean, they're playing this just right.
Yep, we've got 1 Fade, 1 Lurk, and a couple of Skulks with 55 plus, and Heracles has got 48 Pyros spare, so he could be the most expensive Gorge in the game, or he could do what he wants really at this point.
Yeah, Dams has got to be really careful. He's getting pinched from both sides. Rantology not going to be able to catch up to him in time. He's going to come back around through the backside. No, he's going to use that vent with the assistance of a Bone Wall. Marines just can't stay on more than 3 extractors. They just keep losing them one by one. Rantology's going to get a fresh harvester here and waste. Gorgeous and Golden working on oxygenation. You know, Pipeline is very vulnerable. Just going to, you know, kind of put that out there. It's not the easiest one to assault in kind of the position they're in right now. But, you know, if they roll the arcs a long way, you know, while everything else is distracting, that could be a good move for them. I don't know. At this point, I'm like really theory crafting.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm just sort of watching the game unfold. There's not really much to say. They've got an Arc factory. They've got weapons 3. Snails have got Onos. let's just roll the dice now. That's all that really matters. Just get the dice rolling. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, charges complete. So, I mean, I think that's it. They're just waiting for these Onos. Dam's going low again, but that Umbra, man, that Umbra.
Yeah, so let's check the priorities of the Marines themselves. 2 Marines pushing up to oxygenation. They're clearly trying to deny this harvester, force some aggression, maybe get their own extractor up. They want to try and focus some combat up there whilst they do work down in the south. Signic and Joshi now trying to convert one of those extractors, the spawn extractor in fact. And you got Rantology there, sort of roaming about the right hand side, trying to keep Heracles from doing too much damage to the extractors. Looks like Versal did get out of the chair for just a second, but it's not necessary. It's not looking good for the guys in the south. They don't have any shotguns, and they're going up against the double. Actually, only single fade, but Lurk Umbra is helping out a lot. Heracles, that's a big combination now to deal with a lot of extractors. Maybe an opening for the Marines to push.
Yeah, Gorgeous and Golden making their way up into Pipeworks. And do they just shotgun it themselves? No, they're looking for the upgrades. They've seen
Good.
him. You got 2 Skulks coming back. Commander out of the hive. Down he goes. Kingo taking down Gorgeous. Golden trying to get shots in, but Kingo just too powerful. It's just... It just doesn't seem to be... Yeah, it doesn't seem to be clicking for Titus yet. There's no just like, all right, the switch has gone off and we are in turbo mode. We are
when
no
you have
longer
2 shotgun marines like that, they should have done a lot better, especially up against a commander and a skulk. Like, they got a lot of upgrades at this point. Even with the leap up, like that's not really going to stop your shotgun in your face. And it's a little bit disappointing to see that. You got Dams just trivializing these 2 marines. They've only got rifles, so he can just sort of watch them whilst they shoot him. And now they're coming in, and the Skulk's going to clean them up. Heracles doing some pretty good damage. The medpacks are there, but they're expensive. And then Dams and Eagle Eye is still good to go in this fight. Dams is full HP. He's got
Eagle Eye down!
Wow, really good aim.
Woo! Eagle Eye has enough to go again. Ray now out as Onos. He's chilling out up in Pipeworks. Titus has got to know that this is coming. Love to see Armor 2 at this point.
Titus's res is still not bad. Like, somehow they've held on to res towers. They've got their upgrades. They're still sat there in gravity. They still haven't got that second IP, which is a huge mistake. Like, it's really going to cost them in a second. When the big engagement occurs, which is inevitable, they're not going to have enough IPs to respawn people.
I love this long arc play from gravity over to offload. Double Onos, both scanned right there. Triple Onos, a Tronos Annihilation. Holy crap. The Annihilation makes its way right now straight into gravity, going straight onto the power. And with that Umbra, I mean, just what do you do? Ray going down. There's only 1 Marine left and the power goes out. That is G to the G. The Onos survive. The Umbra VIP. Wow.